Welcome to Understand All. I'm your host, Aslakir Gareleaf, and today we're diving deep into the mysterious world of prion diseases. So grab a seat, put on your thinking cap, and let's unravel this perplexing biological enigma together. Imagine a villain so small it's not even alive. A rogue protein that can corrupt its own kind, leading to devastating brain diseases. That, my friends, is a prion. Prions challenge our very understanding of disease-causing agents. They're not viruses, they're not bacteria, they're proteins. Yes, you heard that right. The same building blocks that make up our bodies can also be our undoing. So what exactly are prions? They're misfolded versions of normal proteins found in the brain. When a prion comes into contact with its normal counterpart, it causes that protein to misfold as well. It's like a molecular game of dominoes, each misfolded protein triggering a chain reaction that leads to brain damage and eventually death. But here's the kicker. Prion diseases can affect both humans and animals. In fact, one of the most infamous prion diseases, mad cow disease, caused a major public health crisis in the UK during the 1980s and 90s. According to the World Health Organization, the UK reported over 180,000 cases of mad cow disease, formerly known as bovine spongiform encephalopathy, or BSE, in cattle during that time. But it didn't stop with the cows. Humans who consumed infected beef were at risk of developing a new variant of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, or VCJD. As of 2020, the UK has reported 178 cases of VCJD, according to data from Public Health England. This goes to show that prions can sometimes leap the species barrier, causing devastating consequences. But mad cow disease is just one piece of the prion puzzle. Prion diseases can also occur in other animals, like chronic wasting disease in deer and elk, and scrapie in sheep and goats. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report that chronic wasting disease can have prevalence rates as high as 30% in some areas of North America, posing a significant threat to wild cervid populations. In humans, prion diseases are classified based on their origins. Sporadic CJD, the most common human prion disease, accounts for 85% of cases, while inherited prion diseases like fatal familial insomnia make up 10-15%. Acquired prion diseases, like VCJD from consuming infected meat, are the rarest, accounting for less than 1% of cases, according to the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke. But what makes prion diseases so terrifying is their stealth. They can lurk silently for years, even decades before symptoms appear. And once they do, the progression is swift and relentless. Patients experience rapid cognitive decline, involuntary movements, and eventually, death. The National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke reports that the median survival time for sporadic CJD is just 4 to 6 months from the onset of symptoms. Diagnosing prion diseases is a formidable challenge. The gold standard is examining brain tissue, which is usually only possible after death. But scientists are working on new diagnostic tools, like using cerebrospinal fluid biomarkers and advanced brain imaging techniques to catch these diseases earlier. Treatment options are currently limited, focusing mainly on supportive care. But researchers are exploring new avenues, like developing antibodies that can bind to and neutralize prions, and using small molecules to stabilize normal proteins and prevent misfolding. One glimmer of hope lies in understanding the genetics of prion diseases. Around 10-15% of cases are caused by mutations in the prion protein gene, according to the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke. By studying these mutations, scientists hope to unravel the mechanisms of prion replication and spread, potentially leading to new therapeutic targets. Beyond the immediate impact on patients and families, prion diseases have far-reaching consequences. The economic toll on healthcare systems and agriculture is substantial. But perhaps more significantly, prion diseases have forced us to reckon with the very nature of infectious agents and rethink our understanding of biology. In a way, prions are the ultimate shapeshifters, capable of transforming from harmless proteins into deadly pathogens. And as we continue to unravel their mysteries, we may find that prions have much to teach us about other neurodegenerative disorders, like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, which also involve protein misfolding. So where do we go from here? The fight against prion diseases requires a global effort, from rigorous surveillance systems to international research collaborations. We need to invest in innovative diagnostic technologies, explore new therapeutic avenues, and, crucially, educate the public about these devastating diseases. Because in the end, knowledge is power. By understanding prions, we arm ourselves with the tools to combat not just these rare disorders, but potentially a whole host of protein misfolding diseases that plague humanity. As we continue to unravel the prion puzzle, let us remember the lives lost and the families affected. Let us honor their memory by pushing the boundaries of science, by asking the tough questions, and by never giving up in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. And that, my friends, is the story of Prions, a tale of rogue proteins, scientific detective work, and the indomitable human spirit. It's a reminder that even the smallest of molecules can have the biggest of impacts, and that the quest for knowledge is always worthwhile. So as we wrap up this episode of Understand All, I encourage you to keep learning, keep questioning, and keep marveling at the complexities of the biological world. Because in the end, that's what science is all about. Unraveling the mysteries of life, one protein at a time. Until next time, this is Aslakir Gerleif, signing off. Stay curious, stay hopeful, and never stop seeking to understand it all.